Welcome to the final day of the August Final Farewell Extravaganza. My name's Eincrou. I was the host of this channel and a couple of other channels, but I will no longer be participating in YouTube video production and creation for the purposes of gaining an audience for my work. That is over, and this is the final day of that era. This is it, right here. And today, I'm going to be playing one of my favorite games that I've played hundreds upon hundreds of hours of over the year. And that's a simple game called Microsoft Minesweeper. This very little and simple game has provided me many hours of mindless entertainment. At first, it is a daunting game. It's a game that appears to defy all logic. At least that's what I first thought of it when I first looked at it on Windows 95 back when I was a little kid. Couldn't figure the bastard out. Once I figured it out, I realized if you play it enough, you learn the patterns and it becomes a completely mindless exercise in just vegging out. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to play a bit of it. And I'm also going to play some other of these Microsoft games that I've relied upon for brain-dead entertainment for many years now. So I'm actually doing a monitor capture right now instead of the usual window capture. So this is actually part of my desktop right here. Just viewing a screen region of it. And I'm going to be looking at Solitaire and Spider Solitaire. Hopefully no raunchy backgrounds will come up while recording this video, because I do have my background set to cycle every 30 minutes. And, well, I download these gigantic packs of wallpapers off of a torrent site. And sometimes they get a little bit risque, but that's actually quite unlikely because I have tens of thousands of options for this monitor in particular. So let's look at the game. I'm playing this on expert mode, which means it is a field 16 by 16 by 30, and there are 99 mines here. I always play with sound off because the sounds are pretty annoying, but I'll turn them on for the purposes of this demonstration. So when you first click in this version of Minesweeper, you're always guaranteed to get a safe space. So they don't generate the mines until after your first click. Alright, so we've opened up a wide area here, and we've got a bunch of numbers. So these numbers signify how many mines are adjacent to the particular square. So this cell here has 2 mines adjacent to it, and obviously it couldn't be either of three of these spaces could not be adjacent to this one because we've cleared them, and these are home free, so we don't need to worry about them. But typically what I like to do is start in the corners. So here we have a corner, there's a 1, and there's only one hidden cell here, so obviously the mine has to be here. So I right click and we mark that as a mine. And it's very important to mark the mines because that way you know what you've already decided upon as having a mine there. And this is a guaranteed mine, so we go with this symbol. If I right click again, we get a question mark, meaning I'm not sure if there's a mine there, but there can't possibly not be a mine here because in this corner there's one uncovered cell, and it's this one, so it has to be here. So now here we have 2. We've got 1 cell identified, so the second one must be right here, and that goes for both of these 2s, alright? Now we have a situation here where we have 1 mine adjacent, but we've already got that selected as a mine. So what we're going to do is click here because we know there can't be any mine here. And there was no mine there, it was safe. So what this is telling me here is that there are 3 mines adjacent. We already know 2 of them, but there could be one here, 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 here. We don't know which. And we actually don't really have a way to find out precisely where it is just by looking at this situation here. So I'm going to just clear these and come back to that later. So again, corners. Here we have a corner. So I'm going to place that there. And are there any obvious things I can do here to continue clearing the mines? Well, there are 2 mines adjacent here. So it could be here, or it could be here. Fortunately, there's no way to tell. I have no idea. So I'm going to have to clear these and come back later. Okay, we just got a raunchy background. Sort of. So I'm going to switch it. Alright, so let's see. Another corner. So let's do that. 2. There could only be one there. Alright, so now we've got an interesting situation. We have a 4 here, and we have 3 spots where there could be 2 mines. There has to be 2 mines here somewhere. So this is a pattern that you learn to recognize as you play Minesweeper. So I'm going to show you the possibilities. So let's start with this. Let's pretend that we know that there's a mine here, and then we need one more mine to fill this out. So let's say it's here. Could this work? Okay, we've got our 4 here, then we've got our 1 here, and we've got a 2 here, which is nearby, so we should take a look at that as well. So if this is correct, then as far as this 2 goes, there cannot be another mine right here to complete the 2. And that's because this 1, we already figure is right here, right? So that can't happen, if this is true. So now let's take a look at this situation here. Let's move over 1 cell. Can this be true? Again, we would have 2 adjacent mines, so that can't be true. And what about here? This would actually work. This could work, but again, we don't know for sure if this is the actual configuration, because it could look like this, right? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 adjacent to the 4. We've got the 1 here, and in this case, we've got the 2 sorted out for this just already, because this is in range of the 2. So that's another way that could work. Now, let's take a look at the last potential arrangement of mines. This. Now we've got the 2 here, we've got 2 here, but this cannot ever happen, right? Because there's 1, and we would have 2 here in range of the 1, so that can't be the case. So that means it has to be either this or this, which means we know for 100% certain that there's a mine right here. Okay? If you need to see that again, rewind the video. I think I explained that pretty well. So there can be a mine, there has to be a mine here, and there can be a mine either here or here. Now, which one is it? We can't tell right now. We don't have enough information. So we will continue on and try and see what else we can uncover here. Now, here is another pattern where you always, when you see it, you always know what to do. Like if I see this, 2, 4, and then there's a 1 here, I know that it's always going to be in this format with 3 here, because there can never be 2 here to complete the 4. Alright? So here's another pattern. We have 1, 2, and 1. So let's see the possibilities here. So we can do 1 here, that satisfies that, and then we need 2 here. So if we put a 2 here, obviously that breaks the 1, so that can't happen. But if we put it here, then that works. Now what if we try the last option, which is like this? Well, that breaks this 1 now. So this is not going to work. The only possible situation for this configuration of nodes is like this. Okay? So we know there can't be a mine here, so we'll click there. And we know that there can't be a mine here, so we'll click here. And we need 3, so we can click here, and obviously there has to be 1 there. Now we have 2 mines that can be here. They could be like this, or it could be like this. We have no way to find out. And 4 here, so it could be like this. Oops. It could be like this, Or it could be like this. Again, no way to find out. We can't be sure where there's a mine at all. So in this situation, we need to look around for anything that tells us that there can't possibly be a mine there, or that there has to be a mine there. Those are the two things you look for, where there can't be a mine or where there has to be a mine. And here I see a situation where there can't be a mine. So here we want to complete the 4. It can be either here or here, right? But in both situations, we're satisfying this 1, whether it's here or here. So that means there cannot be a mine right here. So then there's no mine there. So now we're in a situation where we have no guaranteed moves at all. And this is extremely common on expert difficulty. Extremely common. And that's why expert difficulty has a big factor of luck associated with it. Because these are just randomly placed mines on the field, and there's no guarantee that you don't get into a situation where it's pure luck, and you just have to go for it. But when I get to a situation like this early in a game, what I try to do is just click a random spot out somewhere and try to find another open area like this where I can continue building off of. Right now we're getting a little bit lucky to not blow up, but I'm not finding any spots. Okay, there we go. We found one. So let's do some work here. We got here in a concave corner, 3, and there are only 3 cells next to it, so that's very easy. The corners are always the easiest. Alright, so we have already satisfied the 2, and it's a 50-50 on where this is, so we don't know for sure. However, if we look over here, we see that there's a 3, and that overlaps with these 2 possibilities for completing this 3. So that means there has to be a mine in one of these 2 spots, which means that would satisfy this 3, and there cannot be a mine here or here. It has to be in one of these, okay? And now we've unlocked another situation where we can continue working. Now we know that there has to be 2 mines here. And there can't be a 4th mine there. And there have to be 3 here. And we've got 4 already found here, so we can click there. Now here's a shortcut with the mouse. If you right click on a cell that has both of the adjacent mines marked. Now it doesn't matter if they're correctly marked, they just have to be marked. Then I can right click, hold it, and left click, and you can see it clears all of the adjacent spots that are yet to be revealed. Now if I clicked a wrong mark here, then I could potentially blow myself up using that trick. So don't use that until you get really good at this game and you're sure that your selected mines are correct. Now I can do that again here because there are these 2 satisfying that. We've opened up yet another area. Okay, we've got some corners, 2 corners right here. We've got this little bridge here. We can bridge that gap. We've got 1, so now we can click there and be sure that there's nothing there. We've got 3 already selected here, so we'll do that again. We've got 2 here, and I'll do it on this one since this one is the furthest over, and I'll reveal more spots when I do this little shortcut. We can continue doing the shortcut. Okay. Now let me show you another situation right here. So we've got 2 here, and we've got 1 here, and we've got something else here. So in a pattern, this is another pattern to look out for. When you have something like this, where you've got a 2, you've already got 1 selected for sure, and then you've got a 1, you know it has to be either here or here. Here, one of these 2 spots. So if it's one of these 2 spots and there's a 1 here, then it can't be here, so I can click that and be sure that that's safe. Alright, so that's another pattern to look out for. Let's do a bit more unveiling. Okay, so we got another situation here, 3. It has to be 1 here or here, so that means this 2 is going to be satisfied by either this or that, so I can clear these 3. Alright, that's satisfied, so we'll use a little shortcut. We unveiled another little area here for us. Let's go, let's keep clicking. Corners, going for the corners first. Alright, and now I'm going to sort of show you how I play this game when I'm really playing it. I just rapidly go. I notice all of the patterns, so let's keep on going here. Usually, I can do this mindlessly for a while before I have to really start looking at what I'm doing. I'm just marking all the obvious ones, and I'll start clearing them up. Oh, and I'm playing some Final Fantasy music randomly. Okay, here's another pattern I want to point out. We've got a 4 here, and we've got 2 of them already found, and it's 2, 2, 2 in this format. So it's a 4 surrounded by 2s. Now I know for a fact that this is 2, because if we do it like this, if we satisfy the 4 like this, then that breaks the 2, right? That doesn't work. And if we do it like this, then that breaks this 2. So there's only one possibility. It has to be like this. So that should be clear. Yep. Now we can continue clearing this shit out. Yep, opened up another area. Very good. Another area. It's always nice to open up those areas, because that means you're not likely to get stuck anytime soon, because you're going to have a wealth of information. Okay, I almost made a mistake there. This 3 is satisfied. Don't want to misclick or click on the wrong cells. So I'm just going to keep going. And my brain isn't even engaged right now. It's just pure pattern recognition. And I don't even think about it. I do this while listening to talk radio or to podcasts. Back when I listened to Alex Jones, man, this is what I would do. I'd play either World of Warcraft or I'd play Minesweeper, just listening to him rant on about how everything is a false flag operation in the world. All right, so we're almost done with this. We've just got to clear out this area, and fortunately, we're not in a position where we don't have any guaranteed moves. We do have guaranteed moves here. So let's take a look at this situation right here. We've got 2 already satisfied, and there are only 2 empty cells, so we can do that. We can do this. We've got 2 satisfied, only 2 empty cells, we can do that. 3, that's already satisfied, so we can just do that little shortcut. All right, we've got 5 and we've got 2. That means the only possibilities are here and here for this. It can't be here, because even though that satisfies the 2, then I'm missing the 5th for this 5, and I can't do there or there. So we know, even though we don't know where it is, whether it's this one or that one, we know it can't be here. All right, so this 3 is already satisfied, and we've got these 3 very nicely satisfied. And okay, here we come down to what these expert games usually come down to. And I actually got lucky with this game, because there's only one of these situations in the entire game. As you can see here, we have 3 already figured out for sure, but there are 2 unopened cells. And that means it's a 50-50 whether or not we win this game. There's only 1 mine remaining. That's what this counter refers to. This, of course, is the timer. So, basically we're screwed. It's 50-50. It's a coin toss whether or not we win this game. There's absolutely no information to suggest one cell over the other. And I lose. So basically, Minesweeper is just playing these games out and hoping, just praying, that you get into a situation where you can either get lucky on those luck of the draws, or you don't get any. And most likely, you're going to get some. So I'm going to just play a real quick game here. I can usually win or lose a game in less than 2 minutes. So I'm just going to go. And my mouse clicks furiously. Like if you're someone who ever talks to me on voice communications or anything like that, and you hear me clicking furiously, you know that I'm playing Minesweeper. And I do play Minesweeper in the rare instances where I'm talking to someone on chat somewhere. Alright, so there aren't really any obvious moves, so I just took a risk here with this spot here. There are some calculated risks that I like to take, like that is a calculated risk. I can't really explain why it's calculated. I've just sort of learned that I can make those kind of moves relatively safely over the year. Yeah, I'm just making some clicks here that are calculated risks. But yeah, I do talk to people while playing Minesweeper. It's a mindless game. I mean, I'm talking to you, aren't I? And do I sound like I'm distracted or anything? Not really. I don't think so. But I am kind of screwed here because there aren't any obvious moves. And there aren't any obvious safe things that I can do. So I'm gonna have to go out into the wilderness. Alright, this doesn't really help me, but just clicking around the ones tends to be a little bit safe. As long as it's just a bunch of ones like this. You see 3 ones in a row and ones all over here. Like here, this one, there's nowhere I can click here that's really safe, even though there's only one of these 3 adjacent is a mine. So let's continue. We're doing decently so far with this game. I've just got it's shuffling through all the Final Fantasy soundtracks that I have, and I have a lot of them, so should get a pretty good variety. Like this song, I have no idea what game it's from or anything like that. I actually could get... Hang on, that's... I could get a... I usually do this for streaming, but I'm using streaming software right now, so why not? Okay. Cool. It fits up there in the top very nicely. So this is from Final Fantasy XI, which is a game I've never played, so no surprise that I don't recognize it. Okay. Just trying to do everything that I know is safe first before taking any unnecessary risks. Alright, here's a pattern I can point out to you. We've got this situation here with these 3 2s and then these 2 mines that we've already identified. So in this situation, we could have a situation like this, but obviously this is 3 for these, so that doesn't work. Or like this, well, this is 3 for this 2. Or this, well, this is 2, I mean, this is 1 for here, and then it's 3 for here, so that doesn't work. The only possible scenario that works here is this. This is guaranteed. That's another pattern that you can recognize. And, oh, I should have explained that pattern. When you've got a situation with at least 4 ones in a straight line, then you know that this one has to be clear. Because if it's here, then that satisfies these 2. Okay, so this is satisfied. But if it's here, then these 3 are satisfied. But yeah, so that's fine. Those 3 are satisfied. But if it was here, if there was a mine here, then it would satisfy these 3. But this one would be out in. It couldn't be a mine here or here. It's really hard to explain when I've already clicked it. So hopefully, see another situation like that I can talk about. Actually, one's right here. It's a little bit different though. We can effectively pretend that this is a 1 because there's one more mine that it's adjacent to. Okay, this mine here, we already know that's there, so there's one more mine, so we can consider this as like a 1, right? And we've got 4 in a straight line. Okay, so we can do the same principle with the pattern up here. If it was here, then that would mean we could have one like this. We got to make sure that these are only touching 1. So we could do that. That's fine. If it was here, then we could have the 2 satisfied. We could have the 1, and then there could be a 1 here, a mine here, I mean, and that satisfies everything perfectly. But now let's say we put it here. So the 2... Okay, so we have these 3 ones satisfied. There can't be any more mines touching these, but this 2 still needs another mine. So if we do that, boom, doesn't work. We do it like this, boom, that doesn't work. So there can't be a mine here. There we go. So let's clear this up a little bit, clean it up. So I was gonna go fast, but I'm seeing these patterns, and I just want to explain the patterns so that other people can become Minesweeper experts. Okay. Keep going. Alright, we're getting up to a corner. Corners are very treacherous. Fortunately, this corner was solved pretty easily. Corners are usually where you'll find those 50-50s. Sometimes it's actually worse than 50-50. Alright, we're getting into a little bit of a dicey situation here. See, there can't be one there. And, okay, good. So in a situation like this, we just need one more, either here or here. But if it's here, then we can't satisfy this one on the bottom, so it can't be there. So there you go. Alright, here we get into the point where it may come down to some luck. Yeah, we're gonna have to do a little bit of luck. However, when you get to a situation like this, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 cells uncovered, but only 3 of them actually have mines. So we've got these areas here where we need 2 mines to satisfy this 4, and then we need 1 mine to satisfy... Oh, this is already satisfied. Whoops. Okay, that makes it easy. And I win. So there you have it. How to play Minesweeper. And that took me 457 seconds. My best time on this installation of Windows is 112 seconds. It resets every time I reinstall Windows, and I've done that many times since I first really started playing this religiously. What, like 9 years ago? So there you have it, Minesweeper. Hopefully they'll give some people tips on how to play Minesweeper well. And I'm going to be doing some more videos on the other Windows games that I like to play. So if you're interested in that, check it out. This is the last day of the Final Farewell Extravaganza. My name is Eincrou, and I will see you as the videos keep rolling out on this final day. See ya.